You don't understand how smelly these wings are. That looks yummy again. I feel like you're who always eats on brocha? Is
Oh,
it Mike? I think it's Mike who always eats, and they're like, "What you eating?"
same thing I
So,
was eating last week. I got my salmon and I
thing.
got some apples and a little bit of kiwi.
Yeah,
Be
I
fucking
I
up
would
some
suppose
Reese's
to.
later.
Ooh,
What?
I'll be fucking up some Reese's and some peanut M&Ms and like a little bit of a Snickers later.
delish.
I don't know.
Ooh.
I will not be participating in candy eating because I am struggling with some digestive issues.
Oh,
Yeah, no bueno. And it's all my fucking fault. So I'm trying to not be a little stress bucket
mm,
because, we all know like the stress does cause digestive issues, and I am fucking living my worst nightmare. Like I have indigestion. I've never had indigestion and like acid reflux before. I'm having intense, like stabbing abdominal pain. And I'm
damn.
like, what is happening? But I added in betaine HCl, my morning drink again with like apple cider vinegar and glutamine and all that stuff. I'm on just day 2 of that and I feel so much better. But also my stress, I'm trying to be chill a little bit
Yeah, well, you
more.
had a hard couple
But,
of days, especially with the dogs.
oh my God, my little Rolo. But he's good. He was an expensive date, but he's good now.
Hmm.
He's rolling with that. And we figured out a dog sitter for EDC, so that stress is out. My lovely client Alyssa is going to be watching them, so that's good. She lives here in Tampa, so
Hmm.
yeah. And that's next weekend, so I'm getting pumped. I'm so excited for EDC. Oh my God. Fuck.
Hey, have you ever run into, oh, you need it for babysitter, not walking. Never mind. I retract. Continue.
Yeah, because now we were gonna think about just using that one app that gets the walkers and stuff,
That's what
but
my parents are
yeah,
doing for their dog right now, and it's been great.
yeah, we were going to, but then obviously with all the medicine and stuff, now it's like, fuck, we need someone here with them and just to watch, because yeah, what if he, I don't know, starts peeing blood again? It's like, like, but oh my God, I was crying when I saw that. Whenever there's something wrong with the pups, I'm just like, fuck.
Hmm.
God.
Today's Bunny's birthday.
Is
She's four.
it? How old is he?
She's four.
Aw.
Big old bitch.
Big old bitch.
She was the runt of her litter. She was
Yeah.
supposed to be like at most 65 pounds. 65 pounds. She's 110. She's
Damn.
bigger than any guy, anything of the litter. The breeder contacted Josh because they somehow saw pictures of her and offered him $20,000 to send her back to use her as like a breeding dog. And he
Fuck.
said,
No, it's her baby.
yeah,
But that's so cute. Happy birthday to her. It was funny.
big
At the
old
vet the other day, Will always told me that Rolo is 5. He's 8. He's turning 8 years old in January.
Wow.
I'm like, your math was wrong, bud. We got a little old man on our hands now.
Is that
But
old for dogs? I'm kind of retarded when it comes to
um,
dogs.
Oh, not really.
I'd say like 11, 12 is definitely old.
Mm.
But like 10,
Depends on the
12,
breed too.
yeah, it really does. Bigger dogs though, yeah, they usually don't last as long as little dogs, I've noticed. Like Great Danes and like the
Yes, that's
Mastiff
it.
and stuff, they have more health problems for sure.
Mhm.
But
Those are some mess. I would love a Great Dane. They're so big. They're so beautiful though.
they're so cute. But you can't cuddle with them. I mean, I'm sure you can, but like Chip, you just
Ride
like,
on it. You can ride. Fuck it.
They'll think
Go.
they're
I
little
forgot
lap
about
dogs.
them. I'll break them. God, but yeah.
What were we saying we were going to talk about today?
There's something spicy.
It was in our group chat. I don't even remember. I think I was
Mm,
about something.
I don't know. I was trying to
mm.
like look through it because a lot of it was like expecting results without doing the work. I feel like
Yes.
that was a good one.
That's a good one, but I think also something that could probably resonate with more people now, and it's something I wrote a caption for today is talking about like the holiday season because
Mm.
today is like the first holiday of the season and everybody's like shitting their pants thinking their progress is gonna go down
You're literally shitting
and
your
stuff.
pants. This is probably like on
I'm
par.
literally I had a nice shit this morning. So we're good now. But yeah, I feel like people are almost scared to actually take the breaks off during the holidays. Like they think that they have to go 0 or 100 kind of thing. So we could talk about that a little bit, about how to kind of balance holidays, life, and your goals.
Hmm. Yeah, I literally just did a post on this, so I can kind of like bring it
Yeah.
up. But like, I think the biggest thing is like understanding that you have to be flexible with
Mhm.
what's going on, but that doesn't mean you just like take all the habits that you've built the last however many weeks or months and like let that go to shit. So it's like how I handle it is like, okay, today's Halloween. Like, I want to eat some Halloween candy. So I have in my Fitness Pal my normal meals with some subbed options so I can have, a little bit of each. And that's going to be that. So that way I don't feel deprived and I don't feel like I'm doing anything because it's not good or bad, right? It's not like you have a little angel on your shoulder or a little devil on your shoulder. Like there should be no like morale assigned to it. It's like you either have it or you don't. And there are consequences, both good and bad, potentially, depending upon what option you choose. But it's
Mhm.
like, whatever decision you make, dude, own it. Because when you own that and you are confident about that decision, you will feel good about it. You want to stay on plan, you don't want to eat the candy, feel good about that decision. You want to have a fucking Snickers bar, track it in your MyFitnessPal, feel good about that decision, enjoy the Snickers bar, and know that Twix is better.
But I think then people will say like, well, I don't want to have to track the candy. Like I just want to have the candy. And that's also okay. If that's the choice that you're making, that you do want to just, go back to when you were a kid and eat like a little asshole and like have all the candy tonight, like that's fine. But you have to understand, okay, it might come with some repercussions with your digestive tract. And, it depends on where your relationship's at with food. Like, are you gonna beat yourself up about that? Because if you are, I think that staying sane and staying on plan or tracking, like you said, like 1 or 2 candy bars or something like that, and allowing yourself a little bit, but not like going ham,
Mhm.
would save me mentally than, potentially going into a binge because there are some people who are struggling with their food relationship and they'll track the candy bar, but then once they have that chocolate or that candy, then they just go, go, go. So it really depends on where you're at with what choice would work best for you. And I think it just like you can't judge or sorry, you can't compare yourself to other people's choices. Like Ash is tracking candy tonight. I would like my poops regular for the next couple days. So I am following my meal plan. So I think it comes down to just giving yourself some grace no matter what the choice is.
Yeah, dude, it's like not about the fucking candy or the fucking
It
food.
never is.
Like
It's
it's
never
about
about the food.
Yeah, it's just like it's literally about like what you think about the whole situation, the whole circumstance. So it's like for me, it's no big deal to track it. Like I'm happy to track it. So that way I'm staying on plan because I feel good about staying on plan when I'm hitting my macros because
Yeah.
that's the goal that I have for myself. If
Mhm.
someone else who isn't like a serious competitor like me, or they're working really hard on healing their relationship with food, maybe they do just have like their normal meals and then in addition they have like 2 or 3 pieces of candy, right? And like they don't track it or they don't put it in
Yeah.
my fitness pal. Like there's really no right or wrong way to handle this as long as you're not being a fucking dick to yourself, regardless of the situation you choose, because that at the end of the day is the problem, is how you speak to yourself about the decision you do make. And understanding that you have ownership over your actions and to not give in to like peer pressure or bullying from yourself or from others and just being like, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be happy that I'm doing it.
I feel like this applies to more than just holiday season though in general.
Oh
Mhm.
I
yeah.
made I made a post about this the other day too, of like kind of getting real with yourself of like maybe where you're currently at isn't where you thought you were going to be and kind of revamping your plans and outline of what you want to achieve
Mhm.
based on what like is actually going to work for you. And this was
Mhm.
how we got into this conversation of like okay, so said client wants to compete, has competed in the past, blah, 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 but like consistently not making the effort towards a meal plan, wants to go out to eat more often, whatever the case may be, and like trying to basically fit a square peg into a round hole that just doesn't fit right now. That doesn't mean like you can't eventually do that, but like maybe right now isn't the time, and maybe you need to change and have more flexibility and
Yeah.
know that you can still get to your goals, but you're not going to get there as quickly.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that I'm a bodybuilder, so this is what I do. Like that's the mindset people have, as opposed to like, okay, well, have you asked yourself what the fuck you actually want? As opposed to like what you feel like you're supposed to be doing. Who told you you're supposed to be doing that?
Yeah.
Nope.
And dude, I mean, like, yes, we're all competitors here, but we deal with, we coach a lot of lifestyle people
Yeah.
too.
Lifestyle.
So yeah, we understand. Like, you guys want balance. I get it. Everybody's balance is going to be different. But you do have to be honest with yourself because we have to consider our relationship with food. We have to consider our hormonal health.
Mhm.
Because if there's things that we're working on internally, is it really worth sacrificing for all these holiday meals, all these office parties with alcohol and all these things, Personally, I don't think it is. Like, but my beliefs, my values for myself will
Mhm.
be different than Susan and I don't know, Karen,
Kathy.
Kathy,
Yeah.
but owning it. I
Mhm.
like that. The owning it, responsibility, taking responsibility for your actions is the biggest thing.
I think it's so important to understand again, like the psychology behind like decision making processes and understanding that like the minute that you become emotional, you become irrational. And
Mhm.
also, a lot of the time, we want balance and we fail to understand that you cannot have balance in a chaotic mind, in a
Mhm.
chaotic life. There is no balance when the world around you is burning to the fucking ground because you don't have your noggin on straight. And I'm
Mhm.
speaking from experience here because I thought I had everything figured out. I had all my ducks in a row, but I was doing it with the wrong mindset. And again, because I was operating under chaos, I wasn't getting good quality results, right? And I was failing in relationships. I was failing in the gym. I was failing to be a good person, right? So you can't fucking say, oh, I want balance when like the fucking scale looks like this. Like that's not balance, dude. This is balance, right? Get the fucking leveler out. So you have to be real with yourself too. And like what Laura was saying, like you have to think deep down. Like, be fucking real with yourself for once in your life. What do you want? What do you honestly want? Not what you should want. What do you want? And are your actions lining up with what you truly want? And if not, that's an issue. And that's what has to be solved, right? Like, it's so important to have that self awareness and perspective. And if you don't have that by yourself, there are people that can help you. And that's the great thing about counseling, therapy, group sessions, whatever, is you might not be able to have those skills yet to have that level of self-awareness, but you can develop it. And that's how you get better. And that's how you can have a clear picture of what exactly you want to do with your life and making little steps to get there.
Yeah. And honestly, like, what the fuck? Why is balance combining, being adherent Monday through Thursday and then being a dick Friday through Sunday? Like, why is that balance?
I don't think it
Why?
is.
But like that's what they want. They want to go out and drink and have like go eat charcuterie with their girlfriends and drink a bottle of wine and get wine wasted and like all this stuff. Like that's not balance.
Mm-mm.
Deep down, it's not. And it may seem like it because that's the norm. And we're not trying to be like these fucking you know, strict like militant coaches here. Like we too enjoy ourselves. Like I'll have probably a crumble cookie this weekend. Like I do things that are not quote unquote what a bodybuilder should do, but like that's my balance. Like I don't know. I know everybody's mind is different and their values are different, but when did that ever become balance? Treating your body like shit. Like
Well,
I
that's the
don't
lie, right? That's the lie that like social
that they tell
media
them.
and other
Yeah.
people have sold the general
Mhm.
consumers, right? It's the lie of, oh, you can like hustle hard and make $1 billion, but only work 2 hours a day.
Mhm.
Okay. Like they're selling you
You're
unrealistic
selling your feet.
expectations. Yeah, and like we're buying into it because it sounds easy and simple. When in reality, like there's nothing wrong with working hard to get what you want and staying disciplined and owning your actions and being proud of what you create. Right?
Yeah.
Like that is like for me like the true self-honor, self-respect that I like to highlight in myself, like to highlight in my friends, my husband, and my athletes because like that's the hard shit that no one wants to do, but it is so fucking rewarding, right?
Yeah.
So fucking rewarding. And I feel like the lies that we get sold for taking it easy, taking the easy route, like drinking, partying, doing all this fucking bullshit, eating all this fake food, and like it's a lie. It's a lie so other people can make money off of you being sick.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think part of that too is just maturity. And maybe this is my old grandma in me compared to you guys speaking, but like eventually, like that shit gets old. Like, even if you're not someone that's super into like health and fitness and bodybuilding, whatever, like at some point you have to say to yourself, like, I'm trying to live in my past and need to realize it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, again, it comes down to where you're at in your journey. Because there are some people that I think need to pull back on tracking everything to a T. And it's not even that we're talking about like tracking your macros. I don't think everybody has to track their macros in order to live a healthier life.
No.
But, improving your relationship with food, eating more whole foods, like I feel like that's more balanced than, spending all this money getting drunk at a bar, listening to terrible music. God, like literally, I feel like bars play the worst fucking music. We were at that barn party, boring as shit, because it was a DJ that plays at like a bar, I think. And it was just, I was standing there, I was like, well, I'm glad that we dressed up for Halloween, but this is boring. Like, I want to leave. Like, it was just terrible music. And people are just like literally standing on the dance floor, like holding their drinks. That's all I saw. And I was like, this is balance. This
Right.
is what you guys do every time you go off plan. You stand in the middle of a fucking empty bar, like listening to terrible music. Like,
I'm so
God,
glad I'm not in like college or whatnot
oh,
anymore. That's like all
Same.
people did. Fuck
oh
that.
my God,
I didn't even do
weird. But
Same.
hey, everybody's different. But
that.
just take responsibility for your actions and don't blame your coach
No.
Or anyone else. But like
or
I think
anybody else.
like for me, I want to give an example. Like, yeah, I'm tracking my Halloween candy today. And it's like I'm not normally like taking my free meals unless I just don't feel like tracking and like weighing shit out on a scale. That's how I take free meals just to give myself a break from but I still eat whole foods. It's not an excuse to go eat like a jackass. But like, dog, this week the fucking county fair is going on. Let me tell you all a secret. Fucking love funnel cakes. Like, I'm no longer a fat girl, but she's down deep in there. She's in between the titties, right? She's in there
Mhm.
still. Fat girl loves fucking funnel cakes. I'm gonna split a funnel cake with my husband, and it's gonna be so fucking good. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna pack like either a protein shake or some chicken to have protein after I work out, but I'm also gonna eat a goddamn funnel cake. That
Are
is
you
balance.
in your head or is it
Yeah, I got my Halloween costume. I'm a chef.
okay? Okay.
Chef Ash.
I'm not losing my shit. Like, what the fuck is that?
It's yeah, it's my chef hat.
Mm, chef hat.
Mostly I didn't want to put on my Spanx for my Shigo outfit because I have to eat and I didn't feel like throwing up.
Are
Because
you
those
wearing that tonight
Spanx,
though?
You're
yeah,
gonna wear it
I'll
tonight?
say again.
You're wearing it tonight to pass out
Yes.
candy?
Mhm.
Yes. But again, I didn't want to eat my post-workout, which is like 300 grams of rice, and like try to stuff that in my Spanx because that would be.
That's fair.
I'm just wearing my training outfit. I have to eat and go train after this.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
But yeah, I think that was a good little talk there. I think it's needed because I think people have unrealistic expectations for when the holidays come. And then they expect that after all of this balance that they just had for the last 3 months, that January 1st, oh, they're going to be 100%. Like,
Restart.
the fuck? Like, okay, that's more
Bulking
toxic to
season.
me than, huh?
They use holidays for bulking.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I
I
guess.
fucking am. This is the first fucking time I haven't been dieting through the holidays. So I'm like ready. My body is ready.
Actually, that was a good topic too. I saw your in your stories yesterday with yesterday, day before yesterday. Austin's response to your check-in. So what's going on?
he's just happy. Like he
Oh,
finally
I thought he was.
he finally gave me a compliment. Like after 3 fucking years of being an athlete, I got an Austin compliment. So I'm riding. I'm riding cloud nine, bitches.
I thought he was like implying that you were going to be starting for prep and all that soon.
I mean, I've been in prep since I got off stage in 2019. That's just how I've been viewing it because my physique was butthole. And I was like, I never want to look like this again. So, like, that mentality of just like wanting to show up for myself, like, prep will just be dieting for me. Like, it's not going to be any different. Like, I'm not going to go balls to the walls and have like the flip switch. Like, that's just not how I bodybuild.
I
Like,
don't
I
know anybody.
through the
Yeah,
hard times where it's like if you're always 100 fucking 10%, like you're gonna burn out. But it's like the way I bodybuild now is how I'm gonna bodybuild and prep and keep my head on straight because I'm not gonna like lose myself in the sauce. I'm just gonna be eating less food, having a little bit more
Moving
death
more.
face, and
Yeah.
yeah, moving a little bit more. And that's just like how I want to bodybuild. But I do want to get back to the topic of like holidays because I think it is really overwhelming for some people when they go to other people's houses or maybe have company come over to theirs where it's different to prepare your meals or to pack your food or to maybe even eat differently against the grain. And that can kind of cause a social pariah. And that can cause people to have anxiety or are they judging me? Are they thinking little of me? Are they like what are they thinking about? And that causes them to put pressure on themselves to do what the herd is doing. But really, in reality, what it does is it opens up the opportunity for you to educate family members that might not truly understand about nutrition or diet and exercise for that matter. Be like, oh, hey,
Mhm.
I like to eat whole foods because it makes me feel good. And when grandma comes over and makes her stuffing, I'm going to have grandma's stuffing because I love grandma's stuffing. But like, it gives you an opportunity to educate your loved ones on why you live the way you do. And of course, you're going to get unwanted comments, you're going to get judged, but like, don't let that take away from you. Like, you're
Yeah.
doing what you want to do for yourself, for your goals, for your health, for your life. Don't let anyone rob you of that. Like,
Mhm.
hopefully they support you, but I know there are some family members that you can give them a compliment and they'll just fucking slap you in the face. Like, I get not everyone's a good person. We kind of touched on that in the beginning of the podcast, but like, don't let anyone keep you from living your best life, especially yourself.
I was gonna say it's usually that you're over exacerbating this scenario in your mind more than anything. Like people
Mhm.
don't really care that much. I honestly can't think of one scenario that I've had a client that brought their own food or whatever to something because that was what they wanted to do, not were being forced to do.
Mhm.
And they came back to me and said that went absolutely horribly. I was so embarrassed, blah, 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 blah. Like nothing like
Mhm.
this happened. Like I think people just overthink it and make more out of it than
Yeah.
necessary. Take your food
Yeah.
in Tupperware, grab a plate, put it on plate, and sit down and eat with people.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I mean, have you ever had a client say like, "Oh, I don't want to record myself in the gym, like people are gonna like stare at me."
Yep.
Well, okay, set up your camera, do a set, and then look at the people in the background. They don't give a fuck
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they're there to focus on themselves. We're all self-centered. We're focused on ourselves. We
Mhm.
may make these comments like, but if I don't know, if Uncle Bob comes over to me with his beer belly gut and his rosy red cheeks because of his high blood pressure, and he's commenting on the fact that I'm eating chicken and vegetables and some potato versus his sweet potato casserole, like you should not be fazed by that. You should feel empowered that you are like you take your health seriously. Like I get it, we only live once, YOLO, whatever. But
Right.
YOLO to me is not walking around with high blood pressure, feeling like shit all the time, feeling run down. Like that's just not it for me. But I think, yeah, educating and but not educating in a way that's demeaning them and their choices because at the end of the day, it's their life.
Well, no, that's not education. That's judgment.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
yeah, that's like that's them judging others for how the way they live their lives. And it's like
Yeah.
a lot of the times we ask questions because we're curious,
Hmm.
right? So like obviously again, people some lack of self-awareness, so the way they ask might not be
Yeah.
kind. It might be like, why are you doing that? And like again, there could be better ways to open up that conversation, but I was literally approached by this guy at the gym on Tuesday. And I
Mhm.
was recording my leg extensions and I noticed that like I was being a squirmy wormy. I needed to have my fucking grips on my hands and I didn't because I was lazy. And I saw my videos, I was just a hot mess express, moving my hands all over the fucking place. Couldn't get comfortable in the machine. This guy comes up to me, he's like, "Are you an influencer?" And I was like, "No, I'm a bodybuilder. I'm recording my sets to look at my performance." And You see, like I literally showed him the video. I'm like, you see how I'm squirming around? I don't like that. It's taken away from my quads. And he's like, oh, I thought you were an influencer. And I was like, no, like I'm an athlete and a coach. And I explained to him what I was doing. I'm like, I'm not doing this for clout or anything like that. Like, I'm doing this so I can evaluate my performance and see if it was good enough. In the same way that football players look at their performance previously to see how they can get better in the next games. And it literally turned into a mini sales call. I'm likely
Mhm.
going to work with that gentleman just because I took time to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing in a way that fostered like curiosity rather than like, fuck you, dude. Like, why, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? And like 5 years ago, I would have been that fuck you person. But like, I'm so glad I'm not because it just opened up good discussion around why I like to bodybuild and why I like to do these things and why he might like to as well.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's important. I think a lot of people do get a little social anxiety over certain things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, at the end of the day, we just have free will. We can do whatever the fuck we want. When you really deep it, like, why are we judging anybody for what they choose to do? Like I'll never be the type of person like the fear mongering person to make somebody feel bad for their decisions. Like because at the end of the day, like maybe I haven't made the best decisions every single time, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like it's just all part of like living, learning, and coaching. That's what we do. We don't
Exactly.
influence or judge others, and we don't put you guys down for what you choose to do, but we can educate you and give you insight onto why we think this is a better way to go about it. But it's not the only way to go about it, too. Like I feel like everybody gets so black and white thinking over it too.
That's in everything bodybuilding. I
Oh,
can't think of one single thing. There's only one way to approach.
dude, there's no fucking bodybuilding how-to manual.
Nope.
No prep is going to be the same. No off season is going to be the same. Like you have to adjust it. That's why these cookie cutter coaches, it may work for like one out of 20 people they work with.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've worked with, coaches who have been a part, or sorry, worked with athletes who have been a part of those big mass, like producing coaching companies, and they're fucked.
Yep.
It sucks because they weren't actually cared for. But
Yep.
cookie cutter way,
Could be us.
man.
It always makes me sad when you get like people thanking you for like, hey, thank you for like listening to me and applying what I'm
I
asking. And just
know. It makes me want to cry.
like,
They're like, thanks for responding to me on a Sunday afternoon. And I'm like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Just answered your question about, I don't know, steamed vegetables or something. Like, yeah, you're welcome. Like, God, but it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, sometimes
I-
they're probably coming from not getting a response for fucking 3, 4 days.
that's when you abort shit.
Oof. Mm-mm-mm.
At least tell them you're leaving. Don't just ghost them, block them on socials because, like, obviously that's not great either.
God.
Yeah, we should do probably a podcast on like I hate to call them red flags because like I feel like that's like overused, but like what should you expect when you work with a coach and like kind of dissect it down in terms of like professionalism, like services, and like talk about like different options. But at the end of the day, like you shouldn't be, and I know this is like such a coined word and overused word in our industry, like you shouldn't be like gaslit and shit like that too. But I feel like it would be good to break down like what should you expect when you decide to work with a coach. And like obviously I understand there's different like coaching levels in terms of like lifestyle, functional, and bodybuilding, but like there is still a lot of things that overlap in terms of like your coach being professional, delivering things on time, like speaking in a way that like you are understanding and it's not condescending or, fucking downright insulting. Like I feel like that would be really good because there are some people that hire these coaches for their first time and they think that's just fucking normal, which is why they'll stay with them for years and years and years and they don't realize that this is not normal, this is not good until they just want to give up on themselves and give up on their goals and they don't realize there's another way.
Mhm.
Also respecting your wishes too. Like as much as I don't love when it happens, but like if a client's asking you to not post them or
Mhm.
whatever the case is, like I do understand from the opposite end of having been in those shoes before. of not wanting to be displayed publicly because maybe you're uncomfortable or maybe you're embarrassed or whatever
Mhm.
the case may be, like you should be respected and heard for
Mhm.
whatever you're requesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also like
But I also,
professionally. Like there's some people
yeah.
that are like they're in their bras and panties and like they might be a fucking lawyer. Like I get. It's like for us it's no big deal because we're competitors. Like we literally get judged on our fucking asses. But like I get if you're in like your bras and your panties and you're a professional top of the top, like even if you cut off your head, like if anyone found out that was you, that could like either get you in trouble with work or
Mhm.
something else. And so like I totally get that.
Yeah. But also, I think I know we were talking about like, okay, red flags when it comes to the coaches, but you have to also going back to the whole personal responsibility thing. If you're contacting that coach because you have aspirations of being a competitive bodybuilder, let's just use that as an
Mhm.
example, and they're coaching you in a way that I wouldn't say is militant, but they're being very stern and very strict. Like, listen, if you want this goal, this is what you have to do to get there.
Mhm.
And they're maybe not giving you that balance, that cushiony love, that, little sprinkles with the cherry on top kind of like feeling like it's not supposed to be that way if your goals and aspirations are so high.
Mhm.
So be honest with your coach, have your goals shifted. But also it's up to your coach to realize, okay, they're not following anything. There's a disconnect. Like
Mhm.
maybe my goal for them is high still, but their goals are different now. So having that open communication with coaching is so freaking vital
Mhm.
because then we can adjust our coaching. That's the joy of not being a cookie cutter coach. We can adjust our coaching to you. And
Yeah.
like people don't realize that. Like,
Yeah.
It should be.
dude, I coach everybody so differently.
Mhm.
That's what makes my head want to explode because like, we work with so many people and I'm like, well, I don't coach them the same way as this person. And I'm just like going from check-in to check-in. I'm like, well, now my tone of voice has to shift. Now
Mhm.
I have to say funnier things or like, like it's like I'm a different person every check-in. But
I
yeah.
mean, you have to match your athlete's energy and your client's
Mhm.
energy. And like, there are some clients that like, give me the facts, boss, and
Yeah.
I'll go execute. There are others that like, especially if they are receptive well to more encouragement. And when I say cheerleading, I don't mean like cheering them for every little thing, but like more positive encouragement and positive reinforcement versus like you know what I'm saying? But like you have to know your athlete and you also have to understand like a basic core concept of human psychology with that, which is why like honestly a lot of my coaching is more of that like mindset shift work because if you don't have that then you don't have anything to build upon, right? Or you're doing things robotically and that's going to burn your ass out really fucking quick, whether your lifestyle, functional health, or even bodybuilding, because like you lose your personhood, right? But the athletes that do the best are the ones that ask questions, communicate, if they are struggling mentally, they are working with a clinical psychologist, therapist, counselor, whatever. They are expressing gratitude. They are doing things other than eating and lifting weights. They are doing their hobbies, baking, painting, pottery, whatever the fuck. And they are just happy to be here. Those are the athletes that do the best because they're more well rounded versus the athletes that are just like robotic, like, yes, coach, no coach, whatever. Because, like I said, that might get results for a little bit, but like you're going to get so fucking depressed and burnt out. And I'm speaking from experience there, and it ain't fun.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that kind of goes back to balance too, you know? Like
Yes.
even with bodybuilding, like you can't, that cannot be your sole identity. Like
Mhm.
we all wear so many different hats. Like we're coaches, we're girlfriends, we're wives, we're, daughters, whatever it may be. Like we're not just bodybuilder Ash, bodybuilder Meg, bodybuilder, like we have way more to offer. And you can't put yourself into that little box where that's all you do because you will burn out. And it sucks because like that's why I was like, fuck it, hanging up the shoes, like I'm not doing this again. Here I am 4.5 years later. I love it again.
Again,
Because what?
doing this again.
Doing it again. Haven't hung up the heels. Different division, bigger booty. But like, that's exactly how you burn out. And it sucks to see. But
Mhm. But yeah, but that's like the true balance, right? The true
mhm.
balance of like actually taking care of yourself legitimately and getting you
Yeah.
to your goals while having enough flexibility and fluidity in your life to not like freak the fuck out if let's say you get cut in traffic and you should have had a meal, but you had the meal packed, right? So it's like, yeah, you're eating it in your car, which might not be the most optimal, but you planned ahead, so now you're not panicking or pushing meals together. Or it's like, being willing to enjoy like a piece of pie on Thanksgiving. It's like, okay, well, you eat, your normal meals on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day, and then you have like the family meal, right? And like, it's no big deal because in reality, it's one meal. It literally is no big deal. It's like, I couldn't tell you the exact percentage, but if you eat like 4 or 5 meals a day over the scope of a year, we're talking like fucking 0.5% that it matters. And like, obviously, if you completely derail where you're drinking 10 plus things of eggnog and alcohol and you're snacking on the charcuteries and you're like doing fucking nuts and shit, okay, yeah, maybe that 0.1% becomes like a 5% real quick. But
Mhm.
again, like, what did you learn from it? How can you do things differently next time? Because, guys, I'm let you know a secret. These things happen every fucking year. Like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, they don't sneak up. They're coming. They're coming for you. So it's like, how do you want to live it and be thankful and be happy that you get to celebrate it with family, friends, like whatever. Like that's what truly matters. That's the true holiday spirit. Sound like a fucking Pinocchio story.
Mhm. But like, dude, seriously, it's not the food causing it. It's your relationship with the food. It's how you're talking to yourself. It's how you're setting yourself up for it. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
go into it like, oh, I'm only restricting myself to one bite of this or doing that, like the chances of you binging and eating like a total dickwad is high, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So I think during the year, not 2 days before, you have to get real with yourself on like improving how you're speaking to yourself, how you're choosing to eat and live throughout the whole year. Like, because if you come around every single, like, you would think that people would go insane. Like, every year you struggle with the same damn thing. So ask for help or
Yep.
do the inner work that you're like, I don't need that. I don't need therapy. I don't need to slow down. I like, like it's the same. You're doing the same shit every year. Doesn't that get tiring? That would drive me nuts. But
What type of nuts?
fucking
That is not,
cashew,
that's the definition of insanity.
insanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results. Stupid asses. Man, but I'll tell you, those salted cashews that my parents always buy from Sam's Club, every time I go home for the holidays, like they have them. My dad's just sitting there on the couch just eating them. And like I used to do that too. Like I would just eat handfuls of those things. Then I would have digestive
Yeah,
issues.
but mix them with candy corn. Balances out. No, I'm
All right.
serious. Eric and I spent 30 guys. I really hope to God you marry your best friend because literally on Tuesday night, it was like we were in bed and I was like, you want to go get some candy corn? And he was like, we went to 3 fucking different stores to find some candy corn. It wasted like 45 minutes, right? But we got some candy corn, we got some peanuts. He made himself a little candy corn trail mix. I had my little corns and candy, and it was like the best time. We were laughing and giggling and listening to Halloween music, and it was just a grand old time. And we got fucking candy corn. And say what you will, Laura, I know you think it's like disgusting. Meg knows, but like if you have the candy corn and then you have like a salty nut and they like
Mhm.
shake hands, chef's
Dude.
kiss.
All right.
Laura's like, I fucking
So
hate you.
Laura.
I love sweet and salty. It's just candy corns are not my jam.
All right. So since you're a hater of the corn of candy,
Mm.
literally it's the corn of candy. It's the best one. Um, what would you rank? Because I hate dots and I hate milk
Ooh,
duds. So you have three candies: candy corn, milk duds, dots. What is your order of ranking? First is the best, third is the shit.
those are all bad.
Yeah. All right, go.
I don't think I've ever had dots.
Really? They just taste like just stuck to the roof of your mouth. Just
Yeah.
imagine shit stuck in your teeth that you can't get out.
They're
Never.
they're evil. Red
I
and
Yeah.
white.
like the red and the pink dots in the same way I like the red and the yellow starbursts. Like,
hmm
I don't hate dots. Like, I don't also hate milk duds, but milk duds, like, you better have fucking solid teeth, or else you're gonna lose a tooth. Like, I feel like a lot of my teeth that I lost as a kid was from fucking milk duds or caramels. They're just
Milk Duds are they're like chocolate ones that are covered in white little balls.
those are whoppers.
Those are
Oh,
Whoppers and those are terrible.
Well,
They they just
Whoppers
give
are
me a
gross.
they're like the nail on the chalkboard. Like just like if I eat it just the wrong way and it like hits my tooth the wrong way, I'm just like, "Ugh." Like it's just like no. I think candy corn milk duds dots. Dots are terrible. They should go in the trash.
I
Just
Yeah,
would
straight.
say candy corn. I do like milk duds, and I do like dots, but like I don't like them as much as I like candy corn.
Yeah. I don't know.
all right, bust out your questions if you got them, because I gotta hit the road in 5 minutes.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
starting early today.
When is an acceptable time to put up your Christmas tree?
Right now.
Right now after Halloween or after Thanksgiving?
I think you do it now because it's a lot of work and fuck it. Then take it, but then take it down right after the holiday. If you're gonna
Okay.
put it up early.
So October 31st is the earliest. When is the latest that you can take the tree down? January or February or March?
January
January 1st or like the end of January?
1st.
Oof. Oof.
That's what I'm saying. You wanna like drag that shit out, you put in the work.
Yeah,
No.
you fucking do think I love Thanksgiving. I host Thanksgiving. My tree, we're getting a tree this year, but my tree will not go up until Markham Thanksgiving. The fifth annual Markham Thanksgiving has been a due. Because like Thanksgiving needs to have her moment.
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking about we're gonna go to St. Augustine because the day after Thanksgiving they have their Christmas tree lights on. So that will be like we have Thanksgiving there, and then the next day we get some lights. We do a little pre-game Christmas. We
Mhm.
come home, take down the fall shit, put up the Christmas shit, make it just throw up Christmas everywhere, and then we're ready to go. So
I
that would
love
be like the end of November. But Christmas tree, I feel like can stay up until the end of January.
Well, are
Makes
you getting a rail tree?
no, I'm getting a fake one.
no, just got
I have
animals.
dogs.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
would
know.
say
I'll
end
do
of
it.
Thanksgiving, you can start putting up the tree, but I'm with Laura about taking it down like January 1st because things start to get depressing. Like, I don't mind if I keep like lights in my house. Like that
Yeah.
makes it cozy because like winter is like, cozy. But the tree and the Christmas knickknacks, that needs to be away.
Mm.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Meg's
I
like,
think
I'm gonna
if
fly
it's
away.
hitting February, it's
Like I'm
like
gonna put it anyways because I'm gonna have a palm tree, so it's fine.
There you
that's
go. There you go. All
All
right, my
right.
question is, when do you guys start watching your Christmas movies, or what do you include in your Christmas movies?
Last night.
I love that.
yesterday.
Okay, respect, respect. What about you, Meg?
I haven't started yet. I'm milking out the thriller slasher. Like I don't know if I'm like going through a psychotic break. I just want to see some blood. I just want to see some gore. I want shit like scaring me. Like that's all I'm searching now. Like murder documentaries and all like I don't know what's going on.
Will run.
Like I'm ready for some slasher shit. Like I don't want that Hallmark Christmas foo-foo shit yet.
Oh
Like
no.
maybe after Thanksgiving for that.
Meanwhile, last night I was watching Holiday in the Vineyard and it was so good.
I'd kill myself. No, no, I
Dog,
need to
no. We
be.
start our Christmas off with the Harry Potters because it kind of is like kind of the intro into like
Yeah, okay,
Christmas
like
and Thanksgiving and
yeah.
then spooky, and then we'll start like, that's kind of like our foreplay, our holiday foreplay is Harry Potter. And then and then we'll start getting into like more of like the traditional Christmas movies like Charlie Brown, Christmas Vacation, like Polar Express, shit like that. But the ones that we do not watch, and I know this is like really bad, but like the super old ones where it's like Miracle on whatever fucking street, like, or the one where it's like you shoot your eye out, kid. Fucking hate that movie. You guys know what
Oh,
I'm talking about? That movie, the
I
Ralphie.
do. I
Fucking
do.
hate that. Fuck Ralphie. I hope he does lose an eye. I
I
hate
don't
that.
ever
Man.
circle back to revisiting Christmas movies. I'll just watch the like Netflix new ones that are like stupid,
Oh God.
lovey-dovey, whatever.
Those make me want to puke. They're almost as bad as Hallmark.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times they
I
are.
I guess my transition from my gore and my thriller will go like maybe I'll watch like Krampus or like what's another one? What is it called? Black Christmas, I think. Those are like some scary Christmas. Like they still have the Christmas cheer in
Fucking
it, but like
hard.
people still
Who
die.
hurt, who hurt
Dude,
you?
I was gonna say Meg is like having a breakdown. Like, what the fuck?
I'm a fairy. I'm happy. I just like gore. Like I'm gonna try there we go. I'm gonna try to convince Will to go see um Terrifier 3 this weekend.
You need to come visit me and we'll go to Salem.
Oh, that would be sick.
I'd actually want to visit Salem. I think that'd be cool.
Me too. I don't know. I love not Christmas. I love like Halloween. But
Yeah, next year, plan it. You guys can stay
yeah,
with me. It's literally walking distance from my house.
that would
Sick.
be sick. It'd be
Let's do
sick.
it. All right, ladies. It was good potting with you guys. Happy Halloween. I hope you guys get some corns of candy, or Laura get whatever the fuck you
Skittles.
Skittles. Oh God.
Go eat your Skittles.
Go
Fuck
get
up
your
the
go get your Skittles. I love that. All right, ladies. Have a
Bye.
good one. Bye.